Okay, this is my Suzuki Dr650. Tank over here. This bike has 26,366 miles. I've had an oil leak for quite some time. I suspect it's been leaking since day one because it's always got a little bit of crusty down here, right here, but I never knew what it was coming from because the other side stayed clean. So anyway, eventually it just got to where it was leaking worse and worse. It got to the point where if I was riding the bike for a long time, it'd fill this back spark plug right here. It'd fill it up, and then when you stop and you put it on the kickstand and it's tilting it, the oil would run down here and it would run over and trickle down through these fins. And there's also a little hole right up in there that caused it to run forward. And when I got this head bolt out, I figured that out. I go, oh yeah, that's why it's so crusty down in here and is getting worse and worse. But it got to that point where it was starting to leak oil constantly, a lot. Not constantly, but a lot. So I couldn't find a video on how to do this. A couple of forums explained it, and that's where I found what was wrong with the head bolt. Is these guys are saying that pull that front head bolt out and reseal it with some silicone, Permatex. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going by what they're saying, and I'm hoping they're right. So I think it'll work. This washer, it says the copper washer, according to the manual, it's talking about that copper washer, but I can't get it out of there. So we're just going to seal right over top of that. And I wanted to give a picture of what all this stuff looks like. Here's the top end of this. Once you get it all off, before you start to pull it off, you got to put it on top dead center. And you can see down in there, if my light had shone it, it's not going to do it. But it's on top dead center. Get some good quality Allen wrenches to take these covers right here off, because they are tight and they will turn and you'll mess it all up. You'll have to buy another plug, but Bike Bandit has it all. It's not a big deal. So coming over here to the top of this cover, I want to show you this cover is. It's not just a cam cover. It actually has the cam bearings in here, and it covers the whole thing. And here's these. So it's a little more to it than just a cover. It was pretty simple. Different bolts are different lengths. It gives you that. It gives you that on the owner's manual. It tells you that the bolts are different lengths. I drew a rough picture, and put all my bolts where they should go. This little box right here is where this bolt right in the center right here goes. And you got all these bolts. And remember, there's a torque sequence to remove it as well as put it together. So get the manual out and purchase one and figure out what it is. It also tells you the bolts are different lengths. You can see inside there, some of these bolts are very long. They are all different lengths, but it's pretty simple. It's not a big deal at all. Torque wrench, you definitely need a torque wrench. I would most likely use a good quality snap-on torque wrench. That's what I'm going to end up using. I didn't pull this back too much, just loosened it and it came right out. And this right here, you got your O-ring here. Be prepared. I would probably just buy all that stuff early rather than put it back together like I'm going to do and find out all that O-ring is going to leak. This has still got some softness to it, so it'll probably be all right. I was unprepared. I just jumped at this thing here. It's going to take me an hour. It's going to take me less than an hour to do this entire job. And it should run. The torque specs on these cam cover bolts are 8 pounds. And don't quote me on this, but it's 37 pounds for the head bolt. Look it up. I'm making this. I hope that others watch it aside from myself the next time I do this, if I ever have to do it again. And I've had this bike for 12 years. I rebuilt the front shocks about 4 times, and it's looking like I'm getting ready to need to do that again. And it's getting ready. It's going to be needing a new chain. I haven't really done anything on this bike outside of ride it and fix the minor issues. No one else has touched it but me, except for during state inspection time. I run it in and get it state inspected. The bike's in pretty good shape. I put brakes on it all the time. Seems like I'm constantly using brakes. I need to put a rotor because it vibrates a little bit when I hit the brakes, but they're expensive, so I may never do that. Other than that, it's been a really good bike. I haven't had any issues with any of the problems that these forums are talking about it with these bikes. They seem like they're all really good. Anyway, I hope this video helps somebody.